Hello again, gamers. This is American Hussar Gaming and I am Hussar. Today I wanted to talk to you about my own personal favorite off-meta build. Its theme is built around Aragorn. And what would it be like if you made Aragorn in ESO? So I'm sticking to skills and abilities that are kind of off-meta for a Stamina Warden, which is what this is. I also set myself a challenge to only use sets that were available in the base game. And except for one exception, I did that. And I have a workaround for that too if you want to stick to 100% everything in the base game. I also gave myself the challenge of using as few gold items as possible. This build centers around the synergies between the armor sets, the potions, the monster helmet, and the ultimate. So it doesn't parse really well, but it works really well on content. Next up is the character sheet. I decided to pick Breton because part of their lore says that they are from a sunken island which describes the Dunedain of the North in Tolkien's world. You could also say that of the Redguard, but that didn't fit nearly as well as the Breton did. I have all 64 points in stamina. Weapon damage is 5361. Physical penetration is 13,390. Weapon crit 28.3%. Spell resistance 13,818. And physical resistance 10,056. I've chosen to use this game footage so you can see what you're actually going to get in real content if you use this build. Weapon damage is 6397, weapon crit 28.3%, and both the spell and physical penetration are over the cap with 37,000 and some for the spell and 33,000 and some for the physical. Those are the bonuses you get if you use the Onslaught Ultimate. Let's take a look at what you get if you use the Healing Thicket Ultimate. In this clip, you can see him fighting at some vents in High Isle. I deliberately picked this to show you what it would look like if you had to fire off your ultimate just after it had popped for you. So here we're sitting at 5807 weapon damage, 28.3% weapon crit. Both the spell and physical penetrations are near the caps for both of those. And physical resistances are both up over 20,000. 26,766 for the spell and 23,004 for the physical. Mundus is the lover for some extra penetration. The food is, let's see if I can say this right, the Tripe Trifle Pocket, or Zorga's Tripe Trifle Pocket, because it increases your max health by 5395 and stamina recovery by 493. You could also use Orzorga's Smoked Bear Haunch, which is expensive, but is really fantastic with this build. Or you could use Orzorga's Blood Price Pie if you're having problems with health and health recovery. Next are the potions. And this is the first piece of the synergy that I was telling you about. It's the Essence of Stamina. The Essence of Stamina potion that I'm using you make with Lorcan's Tears, Blessed Thistle, Dragon Bile, and Dragon Blood. The first two things are nice, the big increase in stamina and then the major endurance for the stamina recovery, but it's the third piece that we're after here with the Minor Heroism, which makes your ultimate regenerate much faster. That synergy is going to cook into the next part, which is the gear. First set is Drew King Slayer. Drew King Slayer is a set that drops out of Fungal Grotto 1 and 2, which is one of the easier dungeons to solo by yourself once you have a more advanced build. It'll take you no time at all to get the weapons and gear that you need. All of those are really nice, but I'm after the fifth bonus here, which is the Major Brutality and Sorcery at all times, and then the Major Expedition after you kill something. I front barred it, but I'm a sucker for these named weapons, so I use that one just because it's named. And you backbar the bow. For this one, because it's a heavy armor set, I didn't want to use Drew King Slayer on the body, so I concentrated on the weapons and jewelry. Third part of the synergy is this, Balorgs. This is the exception that I said that was not a base game set. If you want, you can use Engine Guardian. This is available in the base game. It gives you a nice health recovery bonus, and then the second part, which gives you a 25% chance to summon the Dwemer Automaton, which is a nice heal. And if you're playing PvP, it's really handy to use because a lot of times people will accidentally hit that, so it'll take fire that will normally be directed at you. I'm using Balorgs and Light for head and shoulders because of the two-piece penetration bonus you get. The next up is the classic and easy to find set, Spriggans. Spriggans is a base game set out of Bankerai, another set that's easily farmable or available on the guild traders. 2 items and 3 items gives you 2 lines of max stamina. The fourth item gives you more weapon and penetration, weapon and spell damage, and then 5 is the big bonus offensive penetration, which in other versions of this I used other armor sets and I found it a bit lacking, so I went with Spriggans. All pieces are in divines, These shoulders should be in Divines, but I haven't bothered to change them yet because I took them off a PvP character. And it's really, if anything, it would enhance the build should I change the enchantment and the trait. Jewelry is also Drew Kingslayer, Bloodthirsty, the health recovery enchantment, and then on the necklace, and then infused on the rings with weapon damage enchantments. Let me explain a little bit about how this synergy works. Whenever you hit your potion, the potion boosts your ultimate as well as the other bonuses it gives you. Your unused ultimate, because of the champion points you picked, is helping your health recovery. And when you do use it, that ultimate then turns into weapon damage because of the Balorg set that you've got on. Skills. Dizzying Swing. Executioner for your execute. Carve for the bleed damage and the damage shield it gives you. Camo Hunter, so you get the major savagery and prophecy when you slot it. And the minor berserk after you deal critical damage from an enemy's flank. Which I do with Stampede, which is a gap closer, but also is a nice AoE. And you have two choices for ultimate. You get a bigger bonus to your weapon damage by using this one on your front bar. On the back bar, I use Healing Thicket. By combining the Essence of Stamina potions with the Drew Kingslayer bonuses and the bonus from Balorgs, which is whatever ultimate you spend is added to your weapon and spell damage, you get this nice secondary synergy going where if you're in a healing, you really need the heals, you can pop your healing ultimate, which not only heals you, but then boosts your damage. If you're in a position where you can afford to not worry about your healing so much, Onslaught gives you a fantastic bonus to your weapon damage. So on the back bar, Barb Trap, Green Lotus for the healing, the self-healing ability. Next is Bullnetch. Now there's a bit of redundancy with the major brutality and sorcery that it gives you, but it's really here to give you the stamina recovery and the every 5 seconds purging a negative effect from you. Expansive Frost Cloak, which helps you and your allies out in a group setting by giving you 59/48 spell and physical resistance for 20 seconds. And another heal is Soothing Spores. You could use Living Vines, but I really don't care to do that so much as Soothing Spores because it's an AoE. And then finally, Healing Thicket. It's a big burst of a heal and then a heal over time for 30,452. And even if you leave the forest, you still get 4 more seconds of healing. Next up are champion points. Now, I went a little bit different than you might expect in these champion points in the blue and the red trees, but we'll get to those in a minute. For the green tree, Treasure Hunter, Rationer for the bonus to food or drink, Gifted Rider because I hate going slow, and Steed's Blessing because I hate going slow. Blue tree. Here's where things get interesting. Fighting Finesse, Exploiter, which feeds into my Dizzying Swing skill, Wrathful Strikes, which is an increase to my weapon damage, and Untamed Aggression, now, which is another bonus to your weapon and spell damage. Now you can get creative with this if you need more healing by slotting Reaving Blows. I've used that before and had pretty good results if you just need a little bit of extra healing. And in the red tree, and Strategic Reserve. This is another secondary synergy that I use because you get 30 health recovery for every 10 ultimate that you have. So every time, especially if you decide to use the Healing Thicket, every time you're not using that, it usually kicks off at like 100 or 120. So up until that point, you've got that much. You got another 120 or so health recovery for the ultimates that you have built up, and then when you use it, you get the heal back from the heal over time and the burst heal out of Healing Thicket. Sustained by Suffering, which gives you increased health, magic, and stamina recovery while you're under the effect of a negative effect. And Rejuvenation, which is more health, magic, and stamina recovery. And Boundless Vitality, which is a nice buff to your health. And since we all know that fashion is the true endgame content for ESO, I picked this costume and these colors to get me as close as I could to Aragorn from the movies. And since this game suffers from a lack of cloaks. So first, the costume, Thieves Guild Leathers. This is easy to get. All you have to do is join the Thieves Guild. Next up are the colors. I dyed all 3 channels of the costume and hat this way. The first color, Orichalk Green, which you get by unlocking the Daggerfall Master Explorer achievement. Next up is Dominion Conqueror Yellow, which you get by unlocking the Aldmeri Dominion Conqueror achievement. Finally, Ayleid Gold, which is when you get the Aldmari Master Explorer achievement. That is all we have for today, folks. Thank you so much for coming and watching this video. If you enjoyed what you found, please hit like, subscribe. I don't know how the algorithm works, so just drop into the comments and say you're following directions, because every little bit helps and I'm trying to grow the channel, and you all are a big part of that. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.